So let's go to a new tab. All right, and then let's just type, because I'm going to show you a trick actually. Let's just type scikit-learn. Scikit-learn, just scikit-learn, and then let's go to the first link. And you will be on the welcoming page of scikit-learn, which by the way looks super nice. And then I'm going to show you something very interesting. I'm going to show you the whole API of the scikit-learn library. You know, the API is the whole library containing all the modules and inside all the functions and classes. All right, so these are all the modules starting from the base one. And the one I actually want to show you right now is the metrics module. The metrics module, which we'll find by scrolling down a bit more until we find M. Should find it very quickly. There we go. Scikit-learn metrics. All right, so as you might guess, this is the module that contains all the metrics of machine learning models, which therefore includes classification models, which we will see in part 3, and what we are interested in now, the regression models. And in the regression models, here are the metrics. Let's have a look. Well, you have many of them. You have the explained variance score, the max error, the mean absolute error, the mean squared error, the mean squared log error. You know, you have many of them. But the one we will use now, after Kirill's intuition lecture, is, of course, the R squared. The R squared score, which is, of course, the coefficient of determination regression score function. Okay, so there is not the adjusted R squared, but that's totally fine. The R squared is fine. You will perfectly be able to evaluate the performance and mostly compare the performances of your regression models to select the best one. So let's click this metric here and we will find, well, the name of the function, which we will use, there you go, to measure the R squared coefficient for each of our different regression models here. And that's exactly what you have at the end in this last cell, which I didn't want to reveal until now. That's indeed the R2 score function, which allows to evaluate the model performance of your regression model with the R squared coefficient of determination. All right, so you have the same in each regression models, you know, R2 score, right? R2 score here as well. That's exactly the same code actually, because, you know, I made these code templates 100% generic. So there you go. You have the R2 score function measuring the coefficient of determination, meaning the R squared. And you know, still in the assumption that I had no idea on how to implement the R squared score. Well, here, what did I do? I actually went to the examples and there you go. I just took this line of code, which clearly means that we're measuring the R squared score between, you know, the vector of real results and your vector of predictions. So I just took this, and then of course I took this before in order to import, of course, the R2 score function from the metrics module from scikit-learn. And so that's why, you know, in each implementation, that's exactly what you see here. I import first the R2 score function from the metrics module by scikit-learn, and then I call this R2 score function on y-test, which contains the real results, you know, the real values of the dependent variable in the test set, and y-pred containing the predictions of the same observations in the test set. All right? So that's only what you would have to do in order to figure out how to, you know, evaluate the model performance of regression models, right? So that's why I really want you to have the reflex to look at the documentation and quickly find the information you need. All right, and now, my friends, time for the exciting step. I'm talking, of course, about the demo. So let's just take a quick little break and we'll start directly in the next tutorial.